Hello, everyone. Welcome to Casual Watch Talk Sunday Social. Well, yeah, I've got a full panel tonight. Well, we've got one spot, but I've got a full panel of 5. So we're going to talk about all the new watch releases this week because thankfully there's been a lot of them and there's a lot to go through. We won't have hit them all. If we've missed any, let us know in the comments section and we'll jump on them as we're going through these. But well, let's kick this off with a wristwatch check. We've got John T and Tickers. Thanks for joining us. What are you wearing tonight?
I've got on the smaller Bolivar Pilot, the 43.5 mil. So
Nice.
yeah, I offloaded the old one and I got the new one because I wanted the one that was the proper size and didn't have a date on. Obviously, they've cut out with the movement. I haven't got the Value movement, but yeah, lovely watch, great watch.
And that's on the and it came with that leather NATO.
It came with the leather NATO. It's got quick release leather NATO, and it comes with a quick release bracelet on.
Oh, awesome.
As well. I actually put the bracelet on tonight and realised I'd never actually sized up the bracelet. I took the bracelet off on day one, and then I think I put a pass-through Velcro strap on the first day I got it, and then I decided to keep it on this. I've never actually adjusted the bracelet, so the bracelet came off.
Awesome.
But yeah,
cool.
Nice watch.
Awesome. I've been very tempted to buy that one in the white and blue combination.
Oh, you like that, do you? Yeah, I was tempted, but I thought, no, I'm going to go with the traditional.
Yeah. I have the traditional, the big one. I thought maybe I could make a pairing.
Yeah.
Dave, what are you wearing?
I have on my Snoopy.
Oh,
there we go.
Beautiful.
Very nice. There you go.
Beautiful.
The proper one.
Yeah.
On the newer Omega rubber strap, which has the I don't know if you'll see it, but it's got the. Will you see it? Is my camera going to pick it up?
Yeah, beautiful.
You can see the surface of the moon on the inside. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's cool.
Look at. Oh, that is cool. That I bet that
It's
strap.
all the way.
I bet that strap is probably
all the
the same price as my whole Bolivar watch.
Probably.
I think the
It's
camera
quite fun.
trying to focus on it's making it quite hypnotic. the image.
Yeah,
know
it's
what,
quite
that
hard
is-
because it's.
that is
There you go. You can see
beautiful,
it there.
So
Quite cool. It's a wee bit subtle.
Actually make that rubber strap for it. Or
This is the rubber strap that they deliver the moonshine gold with the green dial on the rubber strap option. That's the rubber strap on that.
Okay, so Omega will
so,
let you because is it Rolex that won't let you order a bracelet that doesn't come with that model or something? But
I can imagine.
Is it Rolex? Is it Rolex or is it more the ADs? I would. Yeah, I mean you can. The answer is you can do it because I had a friend who wanted I can never remember the names of the old Rolex straps, but whatever, the Jubilee on the one that's got the other strap, and it fits, but you need to use different spring bars and something. And he bought it from an AD, but I think the ADs are a wee bit hesitant about it. Whereas Omega will literally sell you whatever strap you want.
In the US, Omega will sell you if you've got a non-standard, if you want a non-standard quick release, like on here. Although this is a standard, they'll sell you the quick release clasp.
Yeah.
But they won't fit it for you because somebody sued them. So this is the
they'll sell you, like you say, Mark.
They'll sell you
you
that.
the clasps, no problem.
So I've got a.
They sell you the clasp for the screw bars.
Yep.
That's a one upside down. That's a Speedmaster one.
Yeah.
So they'll sell you the parts, no problem.
But in the US, if you wanted to take a reference 210 micro adjust clasp like this one and put it on the previous generation, they'll sell you the parts, but they won't fit them. Because I think somebody somewhere did it badly and the watch fell off someone's wrist and they got sued, so they won't do it. But this is it's the right way around. The Seamaster Tokyo. This is the white dial, blue bezel version.
nice.
And,
Nice.
Still it's in competition with the green Seamaster, which is my favorite. This is a lovely one.
Awesome.
Nicer than the Paris, I think. that gold's a bit too much on the Paris.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Mark. Todd, what are you wearing?
I brought back out one of my favorites. It's a Seiko. Let me see if I can get it. Perpetual calendar chronograph. I wish I could get it to focus. It's a beautiful dial. It very much reminds me of sort of a Longines, sort of a Breguet style numbers. Really a nice watch, and it comes with sapphire crystal, very thin. I mean, obviously quartz, but a great little piece. I like it so much. I kind of want to get the gold version too, if I can find it. They sell out pretty frequently, but the gold is this gold with the brown straps is really nice too with this one.
Awesome, cool. And I'll go last, and I am wearing the Detroit Mint Classic. So Dave over at Detroit Mint, this is his latest watch. It's kind of a rail watch. I think it's more like a Rail Master style watch than it is a couple of people. I took it on a work trip. He gave me all 3 models, so I took it on a work trip. A lot of people are like, oh, it looks a bit like a Datejust, but when you get close up, it's not. The shape and everything's completely different. But yeah, he did a good job of these, and he's hand regulating each of the NH35A movements, which is interesting. So this is actually keeping great time, and the Jubilee is like just jangly enough, but not too jangly. He's done a really good job of him. I'll be doing a review probably this week on them. Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. We've got a bunch of new watches to get through, so we're just gonna start going through them. I think should we hit or miss them? Maybe we'll hit or miss them. But I think these are a pretty solid selection. So first up on the list is the new Dave. This is one of your favorites, isn't it? The Citizen, well, the previous version. This is
100%. These I think are arguably some of the best value, most accessible, and bang for buck watches are none. Full titanium bracelet, some of my strap as well. Okay, it's not a big movement, it's an eco drive movement, so it's quartz, but hey, it makes it super low maintenance. Battery life lasts a decade if you look after it. The lume on it is unbelievably good. It's a nice size. They're pretty indestructible, and they are fairly inexpensive. I think they're currently in the UK in and about the 300, 350 mark, depending on whether you're on bracelet or strap. So yeah, these are an absolute banger. In fact, I think I've got one floating about. I've got the previous generation blue one, and it's an absolute winner. The lume on it's amazing.
Yeah, so I had a cheeky look at these. They're doing it. They've got in the US. There's a green dial one and this black dial one. They're retailing for $575, but they're already like some of even the main places like Sales Jewelers and stuff like that are actually knocking them out at 430, which is probably for a titanium watch is awesome. Did anyone else spot this? Anyone else?
I didn't actually. It's nice that.
Cool.
It's good looking. I didn't realize they made a new version of it. I'd seen the previous version. I thought it was a winner when I saw it before. So,
well, yeah, Dave, you mentioned it on one of our shows, and then I couldn't find one anywhere. They kind of went to ground, and this was about 6 months ago, and it looks like they were.
I'm just standing up because I think I've got one here. Yeah, there's the.
Sorry, how much are these then? How much are they?
There's the previous generation one. That's the blue one.
Yeah.
Good looking watch.
And it's on that. This is on a kind of like a fabric, leather lined fabric strap with these are even titanium. These wee bits in the little clasps titanium, and it's got a bit where you can engrave it with your. I don't know if it'll focus.
That's super legible, isn't it? Absolutely, that dial is super
legible. You can have date of birth, blood
Yeah.
type, and all that. You can engrave on there as well.
Oh,
But
cool.
yeah, it's
Oh.
and it's
that is just super legible.
super legible.
that
But
dial.
as
Yeah,
I say,
100%.
these ones in the UK you can typically pick up for £299, something like that, 300 quid. So
Wow.
they're not super expensive, and they do last.
Just
and
refined the
last and
design,
last.
haven't they? A little bit more. It looks like they've just refined it slightly. The hands look as slightly more refined, don't
They've
they?
got let's see the numbers as well. They've changed the font very slightly because it looks like the ones have got like a little pre-tick on them, whereas they're just straight on this one here. They've taken a line out of the text as well on the dial. This one's got 3 lines on it, so I think that's only got 2. But yeah, it looks like they've just tweaked it a little bit. Not sure what the size is. Does it say what the size is on that one?
Yeah, it will do.
I'm glad they didn't spot that because I would have put that down. I would have gone for that actually because that is lovely. I really do like that.
Yeah, it really is. It says it's It says it's 22mm lugs and then a 41mm case.
So it's slightly bigger then. It looks like a slightly bigger version than this one, because this is, I think, if I remember rightly, this is 39 point something, so it's slightly bigger.
Yeah.
Nice. Like it.
Yeah. So anybody, I think we're definitely going with a hit on that one, aren't we? I think it's a hit.
Absolutely.
I
I think
That's a hit.
I think I'd plumb for the older one. I mean, if people are gonna get short of the older one, like Dave's got for the new one, you'd probably pick an older one up on eBay. Quite,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like there's loads of 45mm of these knocking around. I think because people have gone for the smaller
Mhm.
one. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think 39mm would be better in that. I think 41's too big for that style of watch. I think 39 would definitely be better. You're gonna be tempted by a 100%.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I think yes. Awesome. Okay, so next one up on the list is there like I could hear like a weird, because somebody else heard a weird noise. Okay. No, it might just be me.
Sounded like
Anyway.
someone was clicking. Sounded like.
Oh, okay. So somebody's okay. No worries. Next up is this the Baltic. So it's their new one, but it looks like they've refined the design a little bit more and recessed the crown, which is kind of what drew me to it a little bit. But I don't know whether that crown might be overly fiddly. But I've never really had a Baltic or handled it. Has anybody else handled one?
I had one of the Scottish watches writers had the one with the micro rotor. And it's very nice. Not necessarily to my taste, but you couldn't pick fault with the quality and execution of the watch. I just don't, But Baltic seems to do a very good job of manufacturing and presenting the watches.
Agreed.
There's
And they're one of those
nothing wrong
brands.
with the watch.
And they're one of those brands too, kind of like Zelos and some of the others, so that they're so popular in their niche that they really don't lose money. Like you will never really find a bargain on one.
Yeah, it looks like they got a nice Miyota 9039 in one, which is good. €550 on the rubber. How it looks smaller though, doesn't it? 37, so it is smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're not mega my aesthetic, but everyone I've ever seen of them, decent quality, good value for money, well put together. So yeah, you can't really knock them, to be honest. And the folk who are into Baltic are definitely into Baltic, so they either keep them or they kind of change hands for in and about what you paid for them.
Yeah,
exactly. And I hope that crown is a little thicker than the crown on the Christopher Ward Sealander Elite. It's one of those push button crowns, sprung crowns.
Yeah,
and it's a nice idea, but oh boy, does it hurt your fingers when you wind the watch if you just
that was my one thing with the Colchester when I reviewed the Colchester.
It's the same crown.
Yeah, it's an interesting mechanism, but yeah, because I was expecting it more to be like a traditional crown, but it recessed more into the case. But you're right, it's very thin.
It's like trying to wind up a watch using a titanium cutting disc. It's just really unpleasant on the
finger. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well then, I mean, this isn't one that I would be obsessing over, but I think it's still a hit, isn't it? I think
it'll be popular.
I don't think it's going to do badly.
Yeah, not to my taste, but it'll do well.
Awesome. Okay, next up is we'll go racing through these. We have got a lot, so let's just see. Oh yeah, everyone's saying upvote. Thanks, Matt, and thanks. I thought Matt mentioned it twice. Thank you very much. Okay, so next up is. I'm a bit indifferent about this one. Sorry, I let the cat out of the bag there. This is the Expedition. This is the Hamilton Expedition Auto. It's got the. I don't know if we've mentioned this before. It's got the compass bezel on it. It comes in a few different colours, but
yeah, I think I mentioned this on my show last week. I don't know. It just looked a bit odd. I don't know. I didn't particularly like it.
Yeah,
they're very well made. again, it falls into that classic Hamilton $1,000 price point, which is again a really solid watch for the money that will kick pretty much everything else out the park. When you've got the Swatch Group behind you, you can pretty much spec this up. You don't expect to get silicon parts at this price point. They are really well made. They always are. Pretty much everything Hamilton is extremely well made. So, bang for buck, you can't knock it. It's just a bit blah, I suppose. It's not offensive, but it's pretty boring, to be honest.
It's the same. It's the same as every other Hamilton field watch. I struggle to tell them apart. I agree with Dave that they are very, very well made and great value for money. But the khaki field, I can't tell any of them apart anymore. But if
Hamilton's problem is it's too big, far too big a range with too many model options that are too similar, too many colours. But they're mass market. That's the reality of it. But yeah, I think you can get lost in the range so easily.
Yeah, I mean, I had the Hamilton, I had the X Patrol, and it was a good watch. In fact, actually, that's the only watch that I ever sent back for service because it had a Valjoux 7750 in it, and it wouldn't reset back to 0. But they sorted it out for me. So yeah, they sorted it out for me, so no problem. But I mean, I would definitely recommend this Hamilton watch to anybody. But there's not one that's really like grabbed me recently.
There's much more interesting watches in the range, like the Pan America and things like that. They're a little bit more funky, a little bit different. And if you want the field watch, they do some stuff that's a little bit more original and a little bit more different. Yeah, that I think just works better. Or to be honest, just go for the Interstellar. Like the smaller version, particularly, is an absolutely great looking watch for the money.
That Interstellar one is fantastic. I reviewed it on the channel. I think I reviewed one because they changed the movement, didn't they? I reviewed one of the original ones, which I think specs wise was better, wasn't it? It didn't have a bigger power reserve. I can't remember now, but they did a really good job of that. Really good job.
The other Interstellar one too, the Cooper, is really nice too. That date on that is awesome. I loved that watch. I had it for a while, but just didn't get much wrist time. I kind of moved it on but that's a great watch. They make great watches.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they definitely do. Awesome. Cool. Right. Well, first, there's a couple of Seikos on the list, but first, we already talked about the Bruce Lee one, didn't we? So that's not on here. But this one, the new Land. I mean, I don't mind the look of it, but I haven't even looked what the movement is. I thought we could celebrate that surprise together.
Well, we don't know that. I think it looks a really nice watch. What's the idea of it? What's with that bezel and everything? What's the
compass bezel?
Compass bezel. I like that. I think it's really nice.
Yeah.
Over fussy.
Yeah. The problem is that the bezel makes the dial look small. And then that makes the indices and the hands look too big.
You're right. Yeah. There's something about that hour hand that it looks a bit cartoonish, maybe.
I don't think they've ever quite hit the whole Land series watch. There's only one of them, the Alpinist, that's kind of hit the mark for me. Most of the others, they're decent watches. They're just not as impactful or as kind of, I guess, popular as the likes of your C orientated models, your tunas and your sumos and all of these ones. I think they're just a bit cleaner, a bit nicer looking. Marine Masters, I think the Land series as a general rule are just a bit over fussy.
Yeah. It looks like they've actually, I just like the look of this watch, so I added it. I thought we'd explore the specs as well, but they put the 8L35 in there, so it's a limited edition. And it's going to be $2,600 US.
This is a Seiko. How limited is limited?
It's probably limited to 8,000.
There's only 1,000. Yeah,
that's pretty damn limited for Seiko.
That's good for Seiko. I know what you mean about hour hand. The hour hand is too big compared with the minute hand, isn't it? It's just
it's just the overall proportion. When you've got a dial, a bezel that busy, it makes the whole dial look small. And then you've got the big fat indices at the cardinal points. And for me, the more I look at it, the more I see the proportions are odd.
The case
First
is nice
look.
looking. I like the
Yeah.
case.
It's not. It could. It's not titanium, is it? I'm trying to find out where. I was wondering whether it looks like it might be. Oh, look at this there. The ATEL rather average minus 10 to plus 15 seconds a day. Let's see. Let's see. It doesn't really. Without, I'm not going to read all the specs, but it looks like it could be titanium, couldn't it? But I don't know. Anyway,
It's entirely possible.
it's entirely possible, but I can't see it off.
I think bear in mind that because it's a compass bezel watch, the hour hand is kind of chunky and big because it is the bit you need to be pointing at the sun, so that you need to use it as a fairly definitive reference, so that when you're looking at angles, so there's a practicality to it, but it doesn't really make for a pretty looking watch. It's about as useful as a compass as a diving bezel is to the average person that buys a diving watch, to be honest.
I would argue less usable. This is really just fidgetability.
Yeah, it's like being found at 600 meters down versus being found at the top of Everest. You know, both highly unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, I bet that dial.
In my case.
Yeah, I bet that dial's pretty stunning as well. It should, So Matt's saying it should be titanium for that money. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so are we giving that one a miss?
It's a miss for
Almost a
me.
meh.
It goes into my neutral pile.
By the way,
Fair
sorry, you're right. It is titanium. Had a look. It's titanium.
Good. No, thanks for checking that,
Yeah.
John. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I've checked it. You look like it. You can tell that dull color. I've kind of got to know that dull color now. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now let's switch to another one. I think this one it certainly caught my eye this week. This is the new Timex, the gold, the legacy to know.
Does anyone spy what I spy in there? If you were to change the brand name,
It does
only
have
the
a Omega
Speedmaster
vibe.
Mark II.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah, I
reissue.
was thinking 100% of Speedmaster Mark II.
As
That's why
somebody
it's
who's
so
got
good
one,
looking.
as somebody who's got one, that's actually
I've got
pretty
one.
nice. I like that. It's
I don't
a
know.
shame.
for the money though, it's a banger.
It's a shame Omega didn't make a full gold Speedmaster Mark II when they did the reissue, because that's so much nicer than the two-tone Speedmaster Mark II ever was.
Surprises
cool.
with the price, Sam.
It's $250.
Oh, bargain!
Yeah.
Do we all like the color? Are we all into the color?
I'm into that one.
Well, they have a stainless, like a steel version too, but
Right. I don't have a gold watch actually. I'll probably I've got a Prospect, sorry, with a gold cage, but nothing
There we
apart
go.
from that. I don't have
There you
anything
go.
like that.
I'll tell you that
Okay.
crushes a Moonwatch for me.
Yeah.
That price.
The funny
Precious
thing
the
with
moon
these kind of
swatch.
PVD gold cases is you can get away with it either if you buy a relatively inexpensive watch or a really expensive watch. You just can't do it anywhere in the middle.
I was
Yeah.
going to say exactly the same thing, because I was going to say the amount of like people that wear gold you see a lot of gold watches, but they're usually Citizen, because Citizen, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to make gold PVD watches.
Yeah.
And you're right, you can totally get away with it, can't you?
Yeah, anything kind of 100, 200, 300 bucks, you can get away with it all day long, and then just forget all about it until you hit 30 grand.
Is this a reissue then of something they did in the 70s? Is this a
Well,
reissue?
it's like their retro futuristic thing, isn't it? It look, because somebody commented on one of my videos of that World Time, and they're like, "Oh, I would buy the original," and I commented saying there isn't.
Mm-hmm.
There likely isn't an original. These are just inspired from ideas that they had.
Right.
Very
I don't-
70s-esque, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very-
Oh, yeah.
I
keep
do actually.
hearing
I'm
this
actually
and-
warming to it. Actually, looking at it, and for that
Yeah.
price as well.
Yeah, and it's got this sort of president style bracelet on it as well. Would you say?
Yeah.
I like it. That's
the win.
definitely
Yeah, I
for
am
me.
warming to it.
The bracelet will be horrific. There's no two ways about it. But for $250, you don't really have a right to complain too
Yeah.
much. This is the kind of
Yeah,
watch that
you
you
can't
would
wear it in anything else,
probably-
can you?
But
Would
you-
it look?
Yeah, you
brown
could.
leather?
You
Brown
could get that on like a black rubber strap. It'd look great as well.
Black
Yeah.
rubber
Yeah.
strap. I think brown leather rather than No.
Yeah.
I have to
Unlike
browse
the,
that.
Good as well.
The
Okay.
Speedmaster Mark II, particularly the reissue, it only looks good on the bracelet. I saw one, I think at Watch Time a couple of years ago, and somebody had one on a brown leather strap, and it looked horrendous. So I just wonder
Oh.
how much the character of the watch
Okay.
will change when you take the bracelet off.
Okay.
Quite a lot, I think,
no-
not necessarily
The
for
normal
better.
speedy, traditional speedy now,
So-
it looks brilliant. That strap monster completely looks good on anything.
Yeah, but the Mark II and the Mark II reissues are the exact opposite of that.
Right, interesting. I must admit, I am warming to this now. Actually,
I like
yeah.
it.
Yeah, you're
What's the
feeling it.
configuration on the chronograph? Is that a wasteless or useless 24-hour mark?
Of course,
No.
it will be.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah. But you've still got running seconds.
Was it
on it.
it's got what's it? Yeah. So what's it got? It's got 1 minute. It's got 1 hour. And it's got a 24-hour. It's not the worst.
Hmm.
It's not
They
a
don't all have to
VK64,
have-
thankfully.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Timex are doing quite well with some stuff from what I've seen tonight.
Yeah, they've.
Oh,
they,
this
they're
is
not
the
the
worst.
first time
Designs.
they actually. In fact, we might as well just. So we're saying that's a hit. We might as well just roll straight onto the other one that we've got here.
I think this one's killer.
You'd go for that
God.
one. This one over that one.
This one is just all my style. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got IZ for 12 o'clock. Nice.
hmm
Z.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know whether I like it. I think this looks good. It's certainly kind of a. I was having a friendly argument with somebody at work, or a friendly debate with somebody at work about the Shinola. We had a work conference this week, and there were some amazing watches. So I'll have to give a shout out to everyone. Hopefully, I'll get them on. But yeah, some of the new sales guys, a guy called JR had a Submariner on. There was Grand Seiko's Birchdale Grand Seiko guy called Paul was wearing one. The Glashute original that my one of our leaders Luke wears. There was just so many great watches that are totally unexpected as well for some people. There's a guy called Ed that I'm going to try and get him on the show because he wore a Submariner all the way through his military service, and he's jumped out of like countless planes. He was in like a parachute regiment, so
Oh wow!
jumping out his parachute with his Submariner on. He still wears it. He still wears it today.
Good, that's
So-
good.
Yeah. So what we're saying? So this one is 179. So you can't go wrong with the price. It's got that sort of classic case to it. Marling.
I'm kind of. It's not my style. If they just not put those bars over the 12, 3, and 9, it would have been actually very classy. I just can't fathom why they put those bars, because they almost look like appliques, but they're not. Just that's the only thing that messes it up for me. But I think it's, if you like a dress watch and you want to do one on that kind of price point, then you probably won't go far wrong, to be honest.
I think the numerals and that design it's something else from the Marlin line. It's like they're kind of carrying it over from a different watch that's not a chronograph. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
The bars make the numbers look too heavy.
Yeah.
And then, okay, Pete's not on the show, so I can slander 430 dates. It didn't need the date. Take the date off it.
It doesn't need a date. I agree with you. I would lose the date in a second.
Yeah, and
I
this
mean,
is-
180 bucks, you can't knock it, really.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't know why they've used that image, because it makes it look like the date's misaligned on that one. I don't know why.
It might
doesn't-
be. It's
it doesn't-
$180.
It doesn't make it look like it's misaligned. It is misaligned.
Benefit of the doubt there. So what we said. So are we going to split? How are we going to split this one? So Todd, you're a hit on this one.
I like it. I'd buy it.
Anybody else? No, you're not.
I quite like. I don't like the 9 and the 3. They look a bit odd. Just
Okay.
and the 12 look a bit odd. The 9, 3, and 12 look a bit kind of odd.
You might be on your own here, Todd. You might be on your own.
It's okay. I've been
numbers
told by
ruin it.
Mark that I'm a little bit odd to begin with, so that's a watch perfect for me.
That's a compliment. Yeah. Okay. Also, next up, the second Seiko, and this is much better than the previous one, and I love the look of this. This is their
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Hard
This is
yes.
a great one. Hard yes,
All day
straight
long.
from the start. Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's a 38.5 mil stainless steel case. It's fairly slim at just over 12 millimeters. 6R34 with independent GMT hand. So it's an office style GMT, but it's a little cracker. They've reinvented the 6117 from 1968.
Yeah,
They've done
Navigator.
such a
And
good
it's
job.
super.
I love this.
It's super tight to the original sizes as well.
Yeah,
It's like
it's about half a mil
fractionally
bigger.
It's fractionally bigger. But yeah, this to me, it's a wee bit punchy money wise, but it's a banger. It's an absolute cracker.
It says here 1500 US, and it's a limited
Yeah.
edition of 4,000. But if you got your hands on one of these, I'm sure you'd be really pleased with it, and everyone will love it.
Oh, they'll sell
It's a
out,
great
no
one.
doubt about it.
Oh yeah, this will
Especially
be done
in the UK as well. And the bracelet's very nice. It's very similar to the bracelet that's on the KSK King Seikos.
Yep.
Mm.
It's got a
Which
nice
is
little
Limited
GMT.
edition 4000. He's taken the mick now, isn't it? A bit. It's that thing which meant. It's that thing that was mentioned a few minutes ago by Mark, wasn't it? Like what That's
to be honest, I don't think 4,000 is. I don't think it's over egging it for a $1,500 watch. To be honest with you, like that's
Not from Seiko.
Well, I guarantee you they could sell twice that or 3 times that if they wanted to without worrying about it.
Yeah.
So they will sell out pretty quick and folk will be after them. So I don't think 4,000's ridiculous. When you put it into context of how many people are in the world buying watches, it's pretty small, really.
And how big the Seiko market is, this would be gone in days, I would think. I love this one, and it's unusual for me to say that about a Seiko, but there's nothing wrong with this at all.
Yeah, I like the design a lot though. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I can't find it on a US site. That's really weird. This is Australia, the Australian Seiko.
I think I found it on Seiko's US site, but that was a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
and this is like I mentioned earlier. They've not really done anything in the Land series that hits the mark, other than the Alpinist. This is the other one.
Yeah, this is the Land series, and it's a little cracker.
I wonder if Fratello's actually got.
And the Alpinist GMT version is really cool too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's weird that it's not really coming up on the Seiko US that I can find, but
I don't think it's actually available for a couple of weeks.
It's not available
until they've announced it.
It's available November 2023, so it's not available yet.
Yeah, so you'll probably find it's just not been listed because it's not actually available to buy yet. Seiko are pretty notorious for that.
I like that one as well. I wish it just had a better movement in it, but anyway. Okay, so we're going with a hit, definitely.
Oh, yes,
for sure.
Yeah, that
for sure.
definitely, yes.
Yeah, the gentleman John Sachs who serviced my speed timer and my Grand Seiko that I bought back from Japan, he's actually got one of these almost mint condition previous navigators that he's been trying to sell. So if anybody's got an itch for one of the previous ones that's been fully serviced, let me know. Okay, so next up, let's have a little look. We've got we're back to Timex again, and Todd, your brief was all of them.
I think this whole collection is just fun, when you're talking about just to have some fun. And I love the one where he's like riding the motorcycle. I like the whole bit it's just a clever, fun move.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the estate that owns Snoopy, they are quite, because they've licensed it to Undone, haven't they? I know quite a few other brands, so they certainly are constantly evolving, keeping the image alive.
Like have it. You could like this to me. I look at these like it's a swatch that's gonna last a lot longer. It's not a lot of money. It's just as playful, and you can buy one. Any color you're looking at. Like it's a lot of fun.
It's if you've ever seen, I've never seen one in person. I've never owned a mechanical Marlin.
No, not yet, but that's on my short list.
Yeah. So would it be the mechanical you'd go for?
I think I'd get the mechanical. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So what's everyone else? Anybody else having a? Would we think this is a hit or a miss?
Not mine.
I quite like the motorcycle.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a sensible size.
The money, I think they're good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, we're going to go with a hit for that one. Then next up, let me just remove this one out. Next up, we have. Oh, let me click on behind. Oh yeah, here's a lot of column inches have gone into this one. A lot of people liking this. This is the Longines Spirit Flyback Chronograph
Yeah,
titanium
definitely.
version.
I like that.
Now this is a big boy. This is 42 mil diameter, and does anybody want to play guess the thickness?
I've just
Chonky is the
I
word you're
reckon-
looking for.
I reckon
Chonky.
it's going to be 14 and a half, 15. I don't know. I reckon it's going to be
17,
about
John. 17.
17.
that. Wow.
This-
That's
this- This one's get its bottom on Earth, and it's a sapphire crystal in orbit. It's ridiculous. It's
So what is it? Sorry,
everything
what
about
is
this
it
watch
making
is
it
right.
17 then? What is it they're making it 17? Is it that movement? Is it the crystal? What is it?
Chrono. Yeah, it's
I mean,
it's a
it's
chrono.
100 meter water resistance.
Right, so it's not the water resistance really that's
It's
making
a
it.
modular chrono.
Probably, yeah.
Right.
It's built on something. It says it's an
Right.
ETA base, but then it
Yeah.
only gives
Right.
a Longines caliber. So, I haven't looked up
Yeah.
the base for it yet.
Oh, you can see the depth of the movement there. To your point, Dave.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
for me, everything about this is right. Nice material, nice style, nice look. Everything about it.
That
It's
thickness though.
a
put me
bit
off.
too big every way. You know, like a
Yes.
mil
It's
or
an
so too big in diameter, at least 3 mil too big in depth. But it's a cracker. Otherwise, lots of nice features, but it just doesn't quite hit.
It's
the mark.
it's an ambitious price as well. I
Yeah.
don't have the US price, but on the bracelet, it's 5,750 euros. So that's getting up to the point where you could buy an Omega Seamaster for the same money. Wouldn't be a
Yeah.
chronograph, wouldn't be titanium, but that's Seamaster money. So I think it's a gorgeous looking watch, but it's
Mhm.
It's
and I don't mind the height.
It's Speedmaster money, isn't it? It's speedy money.
Well,
You
Seamaster
want a chronograph?
certainly.
Yeah, if you want a
Seamaster's
chron-
about 5'8",
You could certainly buy a pre-owned. You could buy a pre-owned.
3861 Seamaster for that, Speedmaster for that certainly.
Yeah, I got
exactly.
my 21 Speedy for less than that, with box and papers and everything. The proper one with the big moon box and everything, with all the stuff in. I got that for less money than that.
But I think Longines with the Hydra Conquest GMT and with this in titanium, they're doing a great job on making very, very attractive watches.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? It does look gorgeous, but then that thickness is definitely 17 mil.
Yeah.
That's
I
ridiculous.
mean,
Yeah,
I was gonna say it looks gorgeous. You're right, John. But after I owned it for a while, it would be bashed to heck from hitting door jams. It wouldn't look very good looking very long.
I personally don't mind the thickness. My
Wow.
Speedmaster Regatta is 17 and a half, so I'm kind of used to it. But if you've never worn one of these before, it's going to look like a chunk on the wrist, and it will definitely take you some time to get used to the fact that you're wearing the watch, not vice versa.
And I have seen this. I have seen the stainless steel version of this, and it is visually, it visually looks big. I mean, obviously the size does, but sometimes the specs can be deceiving, can't they? But it does visually looks massive.
When you throw it on a NATO, it's going to stick even farther up off your wrist.
Another reason not to put it on a NATO.
Like 20 mil thickness.
Yeah, it comes from a NATO. Is that a single pass-through NATO? Is that a proper NATO? That one it comes with, which goes under the back.
It's looking at monochrome, John. It says it's 5,400 euros on a NATO strap, but that's all the detail I've got in front of me.
Yeah, just trying to work out. It looks like it. Just one of the angles that Sam just put on a second ago. It looks like it's probably got that one. I'm trying to look. Has that got pins for the? Doesn't look like a pass-through to me. That
it does look like it's scooping over there, but
because that, as I said, if that was a proper NATO as we know it, going under the back, that 17 mil is going to be what? 18?
20.
20.
Yeah, probably 20.
Yeah, probably. Oh,
but we're into Invicta dimensions now.
Yeah.
But it's titanium, so it won't have the Grand Seiko top heavy problem. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I think it looks great, but
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
Very
think
think
it's
it'll be
US.
just not quite right.
Yeah, it's
So
very
it's
good.
it's a bit too thick, but if
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
used to that, if you're used to that kind of watch size, and I think it looks great, but it'll be challenging for a lot of people. But I think it looks great.
Yeah.
So are we neutral on this one, or what are we going to say? We're going to give it a hit or a miss, or are we?
Well,
down
I'm
the
going to
middle?
say it's a hit,
It's not-
so I
it's
can
not
be
a miss.
outvoted. It's not a miss.
Yeah,
It's just
it's not a hit or a
challenging
miss,
if
it's
you're
kind of
if you're not used to the dimensions. It's going to shock you for the first couple of weeks you wear it.
Mhm.
It's like when your professor it's when your professor at school tells you need to do a little bit harder. You've not quite kicked you out of the class yet, but you've definitely not
Yeah.
passed.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know you could apply yourself. We know you know the subject. Just need
Yes.
to apply yourself a little bit better.
Yep.
Okay. So next up, probably the big release of the last couple of days, and we've got to go straight in with Jodi's Erebus watch. So this is Jodi, just one more watch. Finally, after a year of tooling and prototyping and designing, he is releasing his Erebus Origin series dive watches. And I won't start. Mark, you ordered one, didn't you? So why don't you?
I
read
have
the
one on
story?
pre-order,
Yeah.
and I
all
pre-ordered the teal on the circular H-Link bracelet. And I, it is everything that Jodi says it is. He's open that it's a conservative design. It is a conservative design. It's not breaking radical new ground with the dive watch. He's got the date in the right place at 6.
Yep.
He's paid attention to the way the hands cross the various indices and so on. I'm not a particular fan of the bezel. I think the bezel is too busy, and I think that's not as original a bezel design as it could be. But it's the bezel's too busy. NH35 is a accuracy worry that I'll face in March when I get it. But for a first watch, you can find an awful lot worse. And at the price point,
I agree.
At the price point for $299 plus $35 postage to the US, you can forgive it a lot of things. It's a quick release bracelet with a tool-free micro adjust clasp. That's incredible at that price point.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
He's kept the finishing of the case just to bead blasted, so there's no money wasted on polishing that's going to get scratched. It's got a decent water resistance. You will find a lot of watches that are worse for a lot more money. It's 41 mil. I'm looking forward to it. I like the teal because I think that's a color I don't own. Yes, it probably makes the bezel look worse than it is. The bezel with the blue on blue that you can see there's probably the best looking one. But I'm looking forward to seeing it because I don't normally have watches in this price point. And if Jodi has produced the watch he says he has, I think it'll be a winner. A lot of people, that's a watch that should appeal to a lot of people, I think. And it looks like he's done a good but conservative design. His designers done a good job, so I'm looking forward to it.
I think I think it's a good first. If it's a first watch and it lives up to everything he's saying, then it's a great out the starting gate, isn't it? It definitely has elements of other watches in it, but I guess that's hard to do. I guess it's hard to be completely original.
If you're starting off with a watch that's a dive watch that's got hours, minutes, seconds, and square indices, there's hundreds of them. You can't be truly original. Everything that you do will have something. And for the watch community crowd, people who watch Jodi's videos, you'll see elements of this once a month. You'll see an element that's in this watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think for people that are real big fans of his stuff, this is an easy easy purchase to make, isn't it? It's a $300, great price. It's that they can obviously help and support him, and this is obviously, if this does well, then they'll probably lead to more interesting designs. I wonder why.
He says he's working on the second one, but that's probably 12, 15 months off. But for me, even if I don't necessarily like the bezel, I love the bracelet. I think that rounded H-link bracelet I think is wonderful, and that's a coup, because you don't see a quality bracelet like that at this price point. You just don't.
Yeah. The devil inside me wants to say that I'll wait for a homage of it to come out and then I'll review that. But
I'm waiting for the Spaghetti Scametti 2, which will be a homage of this.
No. I it's great to see another YouTuber do this. That it's not just a rebadged model or a variation of another person, which there's nothing wrong with that. I've certainly thought about doing that in the past. And to go a bold things, going out derivative design. I wonder how people feel about it being a 6-month waiting list. I wonder whether he should have. Do you think he should have pre-ordered some and had some ready to go, or
it's a big risk? I mean, at the end of the day,
very big risk.
He's doing it. He's doing it on a shoestring budget. He's not like most people in a position to punt up the kind of money that you need to punt up to actually buy into that. And if you're going to buy into it for a couple of 100 units, you're as well buying into it deeper, because you get no economy of scale there. So he's doing it the right way, I think, for him, from a safety perspective. That will have some impact, because people at this price point are a bit tempestuous. They want it there and then. That's part of it. But I don't like some of the colours. If it was me, I would have done a lot less colours than he's done, because I think there's some of them are not great. Like the blue on blue looks actually quite expensive. I think it looks pretty premium. The white and black, very safe. The yellow, these kind of yellows, the turquoise and the orange, are not really my thing, to be honest. I think it's been done to death, and I think it would maybe have been better leaving that out. But I think he's done an admirable job, to be honest with you. For what you can get for bang for buck, he's done a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, and I don't mind waiting 6 months. Because I know it up front.
Yep.
I know up front that's the wait. I am perfect. Respect Dave's opinion on the teal or turquoise one. But just once in a while, I want to watch with a bright color, because and of the colors, I agree. Maybe if he'd stuck with the top with the 3, the black, the white, and the blue, but then this is a lesson he'll learn. If the other 5 don't sell, don't offer them again.
Weirdly, I think for me, actually, on the color dials, especially the yellow one, it looks very flat. It's almost like if the Rehot ring had a different color on some of them, it might have given it a bit more depth. I just don't think, personally, some of the colors work. To be fair, of all the colors, that kind of turquoisey teal one is the best of all of the colors, for sure. The yellow just doesn't float my boat, but the blue on blue looks great. Looks like a really good looking watch.
So
I think that's probably the best of them.
A waiting list is the only way you can satisfy demand without taking a huge financial risk. But I don't. I've never done this before, but just purely thinking about this, I think if he'd ordered 300 of the blue and like 300 of the white and 300 of the black, I think he would have probably sold them.
But that's a lot of capital up front.
Bear in mind, the way these factories work is you're paying them up front before they produce them. It's not cash on delivery. He would have been out of that for probably 6 to 9 months.
And if
that's a lot of money.
And he pretty much said that in the big video. The pre-order period goes for a month. They will place the order in November, so that they're using the money from the pre-order period to fund production of the first batch, which is a very sensible commercial decision to make in the position that he's in. So I wish him all the best, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. I mean, there's other
I
micro
would
brands that
conservatively. Just doing I'm doing a conservative estimate here. If he made 500 units, say up front, he'd be the better part of 100 grand out of pocket.
do.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of money.
Can I
Yeah,
ask how much more would it be cost to put an SW 200 movement in it? Would it be a hell of a lot more?
Yeah.
You know, it would have cost him a hell of a lot more to do that because
Is that Dave? Because he'd have to go to a different factory to get it done. Because the SW200 is I guess at cost is like a $250 movement. Is it maybe?
Well, he wouldn't be buying them from Salita for starters because he's a tiddlywink in
small.
volume terms. He'd be
Yeah,
needing to buy them through a broker, and a broker will buy them from the factory, and then they'll put their markup on it. If you put an SW200 type movement in here, the watch would probably nearly double in price.
right?
Which still actually wouldn't be that bad a value, would it?
No.
700.
No.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah,
Agreed.
no.
But as a toe in the water as a first one,
Yep.
I think I don't think he's made a bad decision. So he doesn't, certainly on the
Agreed.
financial
No.
side, and I'm looking forward to it. I wish him very well.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. It's great. Great to see what'll come next after that. Okay, so next up then is, so we're saying that's a hit. We're not seeing one yet, but
It is to me, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So next,
I think I mean it's going to be a hit in sales. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah. Having the platform that he has is a beautiful built-in thing, and people love it. I mean, I like that guy. He's great. You don't want him to fail, so people want to support him, and it's a great way to support him. So
yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
And then you've got something that is unique, and it's the first edition of a watch, which is pretty cool. And it's not an unknown, is it either? Like some of these Kickstarter brands, you don't know who the people are behind it, whereas Jody's, completely transparent. Okay, so next up then, so we're saying that's a hit. Next up is, I had to look this up because I didn't really know what League of Legends was, but apparently it's the biggest online multiplayer game in the world, or one of them at least. And G-Shock have gone all in with watch collabs, but this one is their 2100 platform, but for $1,100. And all I can find that's unique is the fact that it's got an ion-plated metal case and the fact that it's got the League of Legends tie-in. So I'm not quite sure. Does anybody, Matt? Do you play League of Legends, or do you know what it is?
I know bugger all about League of Legends. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't either. Trying to stand down with the kids.
I know it's isn't it one of the bigger professional sports series, esports series as well, League of Legends?
Yeah, there's
I've never watched it.
Yeah, there's esports teams, isn't there? And then I think Elon Musk was famous for making Amber Heard dress up as one of the characters.
Yes.
It's kind of
moving swiftly on.
It's a big ask financially.
It is
for that tie-in. I feel like the guys who are spending their weekend eating Doritos and drinking Mountain Dew playing League of Legends are not going to have an extra $1,000 to buy the watch.
Well, I wonder if this is like aimed at, if you're on one of those esports teams, this is the flex, isn't it? This is the flex watch probably to have.
Good call.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
actually, if you're on one of the winning professional esports team, the flex watches are Patek Philippe.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think this will sell to the market that it's aimed at, and it's not aimed at your average G-Shock collector. But price-wise, in terms of all metal G-Shocks, it's pretty much in the ballpark for what you would expect to pay for any of the all metal ones. It's just you see less of the all metal octagons than you do with the likes of the squares and stuff like that. But like any of the kind of limited edition squares are typically up anywhere from $800 to $1,500.
And the couple of titanium ones have been 17 or 1800. So.
Yeah,
right.
And the minute you tie in a collab, you'll always add in money.
Yeah, because
when you get into those metal ones, though, aren't you getting like a better module that has more features or something too, or is it just
not necessarily?
Not necessarily. And remember also the Octas as well. The top Octa now's got the full Bluetooth module in it, so it's got the better module in it. So I don't know what that one specifically has, but it's likely to be the best Octa module, which is now got a few different features on it.
Yeah, it's definitely got the Bluetooth. It's definitely got the solar capability, smartphone
Yeah,
link.
so
which
it's
works well.
yeah, so it's the better module. It's probably the best module you can get on that series now.
Yeah, I mean the entry
Yeah.
point for those the Octa ones, the 2100 series is you can get the same module in a one that's $180. But you're right.
It's the full resin one though, isn't it, with the resin bracelet?
Yeah, do you know what? As
Yeah.
well, they released this one, which if I wasn't so afraid of negative displays, I would be all over this one, because this one is actually one of the cheapest squares that I think they've ever had Bluetooth on. So for $150, I think this is an absolute bargain. This thing,
Yeah,
Bluetooth
that's an awesome watch.
resin on it. I just wish it wasn't a negative. I just don't.
I've only ever had one negative display watch that was actually any good in terms of the display. That was a Casio fitness tracker, huge thing.
Yeah,
But that negative display was actually better, as good as the positive as the positive ones.
yeah.
But anything else has always been a disappointment.
I've got the Move. And the negative display on this Move is perfect, but I think it's because it's that MIP display or whatever. But the negative display on this is awesome. But then I don't understand why the fitness app, because you can change the watch face, and I don't know why. Like the Garmin, you could switch the display negative to positive. So I don't know why G-Shock don't allow you to do that. It's like a silly thing, because I would just have it in their positive all the time instead of the negative. But the negative display does look good on this.
I almost bought the blue version of that as an impulse buy down at the beach this year. They had it in one of the surf shops.
Yeah.
Good looking watch.
Oh, we lost Sam.
Oh, we lost Sam. Oh, without the host, this gets to be an interesting show real quickly.
Especially when none of us have got controls.
Well, we've got 2 minutes for Sam to come back. So,
There he is.
Here he
There he
Yes,
is.
well, we were just going to carry on chatting. We just couldn't end it because no one's got the controls to end it. We just carry on.
It was I pressed backspace on the wrong one. I was going to try and go
Oh,
backspace
that's
on
my
the
trick, that.
legends, and I bit backspace on the wrong one. Yeah, I mean this is kind of top tier.
Top tier production quality, old boy. Well done.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we are we League of Legends? Are we hit or miss in this?
Not for me.
That's
I'm
a
not
miss
into-
for me.
Not for me.
It's a miss for me.
It's because I liked the Gundam that was the titanium Gundam that was 1800, but it's a maybe. I mean, I wouldn't buy one, but I don't hate it.
Awesome. Right. Well, we've got a few minutes left. Well, we've got 1 minute left, but we've got to fit in a bit of Biver into the mix. So this is the Jean-Claude Biver. This is I think it might even be a piece unique, but it's the Tourbillon, and it's based on the Day of the Dead. And apparently these skeletons dance a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
I
know
how
Dave
much
loves
is.
it right away because of the open face tourbillon. That's one of his favorite things.
David, what do you think?
What do I think?
Dancing skeletons.
The annoying thing is the actual watches, because I've been lucky enough to see. I went to the launch event for Biver watches, and the bracelet is unbelievably cool. It's so. I mean, at the money they're charging, of course, it's going to be good. It's not my vibe, but any of these kind of it's a bit like FP Journe has done it, and various other people have done it with these. Not quite automaton, but that kind of ilk to it as well. And they're very clever for what they are. It's a beautiful watch, but just not for me. And the price point is eye-watering. And I still think that the JCB logo looks like the JCB logo. So I'm not entirely convinced that it's the best logo. But honestly, these bracelets are like nothing you've ever seen. And well, certainly you will have seen it in very little before, but it's absolutely outstanding, the bracelet on it.
So I wonder, does it? Do you know what? I don't think it had the price on the. Do you know the price off the top of your head, or is it just
If it's price on application, none of us combined can afford it.
Yeah, upon request, price upon request.
Yeah, it'll probably be pushing 7 figures.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Awesome.
I'll get 2.
Yeah.
Well, then let me just see if we've got any other quick. Oh yeah, we'll definitely do this. We'll definitely do this last one, and we will go to the. We'll end on a tag, the Porsche design tag, Carrera Chrono Spirit. I actually quite like this. I hate
Yeah,
myself.
David Mir,
well.
opposite. This is chef's kiss to me. Look at that thing; it's beautiful.
That's
No.
nice. I like that. Yeah.
No,
I do.
just no.
just no.
Just stop it. Stop it with the Porsche stuff tag. Just stop it, please.
Well,
please
sure.
stop.
If you hadn't associated it with Porsche,
Yeah.
I mean the date at 6 o'clock is clumsy, and the Porsche association is clumsier. But if it wasn't for those
I mean,
two
if you
things, I kind
were
of like
to,
it.
if you took Porsche off the bezel, if you took the rev counter red limit off the
Yep.
6 o'clock silk register, if you get rid of just basically start again and give them a different set of chains and it'll be fine.
So
I mean, intrinsically, I don't mind the watch as a plan form. I just think it's just so contrived.
yeah, Thomas Burnett, thank you very much for the. He's wishing Jody best of luck in 199 super chat. Thank you very much, Thomas. I'm going to make myself look like I don't know anything about watches here, but is the two linked to Carrera Porsche and the Carrera tag?
Not
They'd like
really.
you to think that.
Not yeah.
Okay.
Carrera comes from Carrera Pan America, which was a race down Latin America in the 50s or the 60s, and then Porsche grabbed the name, even though Carrera I think actually means race. That's probably where Tag got it as well, because the Carrera Pan America was a very, very famous and very, very deadly motor race.
Oh, really?
I don't think Porsche actually entered it. I know Mercedes did, but I'm not sure about Porsche. My memory is failing me here. But Porsche, in terms of cars, have owned the Carrera name for 50, 60 years now. Not owned it, but used it, and it's become associated with Porsche in a way that no other brand has been able to use the name. But yeah, I agree with Dave. It's kind of contrived.
Oh, that gold! Oof, 23,000. Ouch.
Well, that's a little punchy for me.
Cool. So we're gonna give that a miss, are we?
How
No,
much
I'm
is
giving
this
it a
one?
hit. That's a hit for me.
What's that price on this one?
9,200 US.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think I'll go and buy a Moonwatch.
0% finance. 767 a month.
Oh, perfect.
Bargain.
Awesome. Well, there we go. Well, that was a great episode of Hit or Miss on the new watches. Thank you for everyone in the comments. I don't think anybody mentioned anything that we didn't show, so very, very much appreciated anyway.
All I know is Peter has really good tastes in watches. Go ahead. He agrees with me 100%, so I'm good. We like Peter.
I'm going to have to look at what crumulant or cramulant actually means, because I don't think it means what you think it means.
Crumulant. It's a perfect crumulant chronograph. Oh yeah, I don't know what that means.
I'm going to have to look that up offline, but just to quote The Princess Bride, you keep using this word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Awesome. Well, a big thanks to everyone for watching. Big thanks to the panel. Thank you so much for joining, and we will see you. It might be Tuesday. I couldn't do last Tuesday, but we might do this Tuesday. But very much appreciated, and we'll see you all next time on Casual Watch Talk. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. So.